8月是夏天的最后通牒，是短暂停顿征战季后赛的逗号，还是早早出局告别赛场的句号？一整个赛季的努力都将在这短短的1个月里迎来答案。即便仅存理论可能性，依然全力以赴做最好的自己。提前告别也无妨，为荣耀而战同样值得尊敬。乐观是精神而非态度，积极求胜是不变的目标，中流砥柱，稳中求进，突破自我与再攀高峰。是重返巅峰，带走这个夏天的所有掌声，还是触底反弹，找回属于自己的取胜之道？年轻从不是示弱的理由，春夏持续的强势表现是他们抢班夺权的号角。调整磨合早已不是借口，不进则退的道理，他们比谁都更加清楚。跌跌撞撞的夏天终于走到了悬崖边，奇迹与遗憾只有一线之隔。
Yet to come. Like summer nights, I'm gonna dance, tell you my name, and I'm free. You should do this here, top of the day.
That's right, another beautiful day of the LPL as we end the near, or if that was English, I'd tell you something along the lines of week 10. I always try and come in so fancy, but at the end of the day, I'm a softie with my words. I mean to tell you that this is the end of week 10. We've got 2 days left remaining, and then the final week of playoffs here in the LPL. And we finally get to kick open with LGD and BLG. We know you've all been waiting patiently, but due to the typhoon, we had that delay. But now, with Kuro and the rest of the team entering alongside Jinjiao there, we finally get to see LGD and BLG in action before later heading towards RNG and Invictus Gaming. And of course, being in Hangzhou, this is LGD's home arena. An arena I just came from the other day where I got to see people like PYL, Kramer in action, Garvey, one of the newest members there on your screen alongside badeMan. And LGD look to continue that road of upset as we welcome you back here to the studio as Derek's Raz. And it's been a long time coming here tonight. We're starting just that little bit later.
Yeah, I mean, look, when we actually went at our own homes, I'll talk about me. I just got drenched.
I couldn't hold an umbrella. That was pretty bad.
Yeah, mine was about to fly away.
Yeah. Trying to listen to music and walk at the same time was not optional at that point. So, big typhoon here in Shanghai. I know it's come up. It's actually in Hangzhou, the worst at the moment.
Yeah, it's really bad. I've seen videos and certainly people driving over there.
Yeah.
Not having a good time.
Stop doing that because it's very dangerous at the moment. So, hopefully everyone's okay. But here in China, it's actually kind of refreshing getting a bit of, no? It's
You're
refreshing.
the type of person that drives towards a tornado.
Yeah.
Thinks it's like some type of sick thrill.
I miss rain. I'm getting some rain here, but look, we'll digress further because here in the LPL, the show goes on, and yesterday, of course, that was no exception there. No typhoon, no worries, but hang on a minute. There's a best of 3 in each case that I'll be looking at here for EDG and WE.
It's great to be able to see EDG picking up wins. It was once again another close one, VG Gaming. So close to being able to pick up that series victory.
Yep.
But EDG takes it, locked themselves a playoff spot with 8 wins. So congratulations to EDG on that one.
And for WE, the run-up continues as well. Still contending for those final couple of spots in playoffs. And remember, now that EDG have secured themselves, standings are kind of getting scarce.
Yeah, let's talk about it because Team WE are now on a 4-series winning streak. We knew that was going to be the case. That they had a pretty easy schedule going up ahead.
Oh, they did.
They are just a point behind LNG, and LNG have been just having a poor time. They should have lost their last series.
Yeah, I mean, that was against Vici as well. They only just climbed through.
It's crazy how close they were of being able to lose that one, but just by a hair, able to keep that lead over Team WE.
I mean, that was 3 weeks ago as well. The LNG were like, hey, this team's going to playoffs, and now not so sure with their final series to be played. We are getting towards the end of the split. We are, a week and a half out of closing out that top 8 and with 2 spots available. Even teams like IG aren't safe with JDG, WE on the heels, even DMO trying to climb up as well.
It's insane. We have a lot to go through in the final week of the LPL.
Yeah, we do.
And it starts with today. I mean, today we get 2 bits of treats. For BLG, the fact that they've already secured themselves in the playoffs and they're just trying to secure that top 4 spot. If you know the playoff format in the past few playoffs, we've already been having, like, essentially, you get yourself in a pretty decent gauntlet spot.
Yep.
Meaning if you're top 2, you get a semifinal spot. You only have to play 1 best of 5 to be able to find yourself in the final. And for BLG, that would be a blessing. So I want to see if they can get that.
Yeah, because LGD have been bashing down doors. A team that took down JDG, and in that arena, the game 3 was solid from this team. So I'm excited to see LGD in action once again. But coming up later,
yeah,
a matchup that I get hyped for every single time. IG versus RNG.
And you will not miss a single second of this match. When the clock strikes 7 in Shanghai time, we will be moving towards it. And so you get to see it live. IG versus RNG. The words are right in front of you. Season 8 World Champions. Season 8 MSI Champions. RNG that had that golden road. But it was IG that was able to at least cap it off for the LPL. Going up against each other. We're going to talk about it in depth later on, but the fact that they have now landed back and are starting to fight back, it's going to be great for both of these teams because Spring Split was pretty tough.
Yes. Yes, it definitely was. And I was going to say this match usually goes the distance as well. So big expectations on both to play on each other. That'll be coming up later, but first we start with LGD and BLG. And while we do have the game to have an insight as to how BLG will face off, there is a lot riding on this that, as you said, they can get high-tier position.
Yeah, they can get farther, so don't end up losing any series. The thing about LGD is LGD, especially in the final weeks of the LPL, year after year, end up picking crazy wins. They get much better as a team. Now, they have the talent. You already saw the multi-MVP in the last series where Kramer came in clutch multiple times. We have Yuuki on the team. We consistently sing the praises of the individual players. Of course, they find themselves in a position where they're not able to reach the playoffs, but near the end of the split, they find their groove. Last year, taking down RNG in that fashion. They made the e-commerce war between JDG and Suning that much more clutch when they took series wins against them when they were trying to find a place in playoffs. So, like, they made it that much harder for Suning. And now if you're talking about LGD in their last few series, they're going up against BLG. And then, they have to go up against Invictus Gaming in the last week.
Yeah.
You have to watch these series because LGD don't take breaks.
Speaking of recency, I mean, LGD are the ones who may have just knocked JDG out of playoffs entirely. JDG were looking like a team that could maybe secure 7th or 8th if they could make the run. LGD in Game 3 say no, keep them down, and there's a big chance they don't even get there.
But remember, as we'll see in the few replays coming up, is just simply, BLG and their current performances. Sure. Like, BLG have just looked like a damn strong team. In the spring split, we've seen them, they should have been in the LPL, in the playoffs, in my opinion. They were looking that strong. When we got to the final weeks, what we got to see was the fact that, BLG went up against Invictus Gaming, were hit on the Nexus, a way of being able to take that series victory. And they looked like the top 3 team at that stage in time. Now, of course, it's not coming up, but like you can just imagine the fact that BLG as a team have been one of the most consistent teams that had the most unique identities. If we're talking about unique identities in the LPL, you'd think LNG first, BLG next to it, because you have the crazy scientific minds of LNG, the very slow-paced and Korean style of BLG, and the rest of the teams in the LPL still hone that aggressive style one way or another. And so I want to see what BLG can do.
Especially with, again, the highlight on the solo laners coming towards Meteor as well. As we get a bit of a closer look here at BLG and what this jungler was able to do in the last series against Rogue Warriors.
Yeah, so here it is. The fact that these are the replays we talked about with the team fights that they're able to provide. A lot of it is just literally ADD and recognizing his role. A lot of the discussion that we have about these individual talents was like, yeah, we know Kuro is going to come out really strong, with the Azir, the Aurelia. Like, he's a great assassin. I think he's just one of the most flexible players right now in the LPL. And then you go towards ADD, and the stigma that he has as a player is hilarious.
Yes.
Because he either comes in a game or a series and has one of the worst 5 minutes you'll see of a player, but then if he doesn't have that, he is actually an X factor that you always have to respect in team fights. He's an immense team fighter. He's crazy on that one. His laning phase, I think he can still showcase like great Fiora games. If you guys are watching PvE, you might have to respect the org in the future.
Sure.
You know, he has his champions, and he's a great team fighter, and it works well for this team fighting team.
Yeah, just the highlights on ADD and the champion pull towards the gangplank as well. I know with BLG there's a lot of hype coming into this one as well, but I want to transition over to LGD quickly because while BLG is a great road of success, summer's looking a lot better than spring because they actually make playoffs already. For LGD, we do have to say, sayonara, that's kind of it for now. Although they can make upsets, they will not be making playoffs.
Rest in peace, LGD, right? It's like, I'm still down for upset LGD, right?
I still like LGD and the look of the individual players.
Well, I say upset LGD because they take teams down when they're already out, down and out from the playoffs. So the fact that LGD as a team, you still have to respect them. You can't look past them, especially if you're in BLG in a situation, well, sure, you've secured playoffs, but you want to secure the top 4. And this is a pretty important time for the team to get as far as they can. Here's the roster right in front of you. Getting right there, ADD up in the top lane, Meteor in the jungle, Kuro in the mid lane, Jinjiao and XinMo in the bot side of the map, and of course, Coach Sim rounding that one out.
And you also got to remember as well, for BLG, there weren't very big significant roster changes, the only one being XinMo coming in over Mini for the summer season.
Yeah, of course. So XinMo, I've been seeing a few of his streams. He came in from EDG's Academy squad, right? He was with the EDG, you know, trainee lineup, came in for the team, and I like the idea of just kind of bringing in new support players into a system that feels already well built. Now they're going up against LGD here. LGD in the top lane, you've been singing his praises. Garvey coming up in the top side of the map. badeMan in the jungle. Yuuki, the mid laner. And the bottom side of the map is Kramer and PYL.
And PYL's, you know, made a bit of a return himself. It's always back and forth between PYL, RD, but the past couple of series, PYL has been jumping back on, and with Kramer, that bottom lane has actually been widely successful.
Yeah, and I love the fact when PYL comes into the team, they're just a lot more aggressive. That's the style he comes in and plays. He's a part of that old school style. Old school LPL is pick me Bard, Alistar. I'm going to be the guy who's looking for the fights. You just have to be the one that follows up. And I love being able to see it from him. So coming back into the team, you know, mascot, captain, everything. He's the identity of you know, LGD.
Important as well when you have that new jungler, new top laner, where you need structure in your team. And for Kramer and Yuuki, while they have been the more successful parts of LGD, well, Garvey and badeMan, they're ramping up. I think they're great individual players, and the strength of PYL should enforce them even further.
Because the reality for LGD is that, you know, we felt as a team they could have or should have been able to make that run to playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, they initially in the beginning of the split, beginning of the year, you know, coming into this, you know, they had Condi in the lineup. This team had great focus and were finding their stride in growth.
I remember you saying they needed that split in spring to ramp up to summer.
Yeah, and so that was the split for them to come into this one and prove themselves as playoff teams. Now, because of the ruling that came through and the hubbub where they're bringing in multiple junglers, we'll be hearing from Coach Sim from BLG just in a moment.
신뢰를 갖고 있고 같은 방향으로 매 순간 같은 방향을 보려고 하는 게 그게 가장 중요하고 잘하고 있는 부분인 것 같아요. 일단 이번 시즌 꼭 결승까지 갔으면 좋겠고 꼭 그리고 롤드컵까지 나갈 수 있도록 했으면 좋겠어요.
Big ambitions.
Yep, high hopes. I mean, Coach Sim has a direction in mind. He knows what he wants from the team.
And I love that. I love that. Having those high ambitions, going above and beyond. It's not about making playoffs. It's not about making finals. It's no.
No,
with
it
this
is
team,
about that,
I can believe, but you know what I mean,
yeah.
right? The end goal is even higher, and that's great for BLG. 3 spots to go to Worlds, and BLG, they did not make playoffs, so they have to either go to that grand final, win outright, or go into the regional gauntlet where, you know, they can still make the run.
Yeah, and I love the fact that BLG as a team, it really does feel like they can do it. I want to hear from Kuro now.
되게 중국에 같이 와서 맨날 카톡 대화도 하고 얘기도 많이 나눠서 딱히 할 말은 없는데 승점 고맙다.
Thanks for sending us points.
Yeah.
Great. Motivation from BLG.
Give me my points.
An exciting team to watch. And, you know, expectations coming in here, ramping up towards playoffs. Remember, this team can still secure semi-finals. They can still hit up with teams like FPX and RNG at the moment. This is why this is a must-win for them continuing on.
Look, in the way we currently see BLG play the game, going up against RNG in a best-of-5, FPX in a best-of-5, you know they'll go the distance. It's not going to be them getting run out by any sense of the imagination. In fact, that's why their style being so unique as a squad in the LPL is so meaningful.
Yes.
Because when they go up against teams like RNG has to respect like Kuro playing out the way he does, the lane assignments that come through, a slower type of game style. To be fair, BLG and RNG are fairly similar for that reason.
True.
But when BLG goes up against IG and all that, you know, I think those teams have to match pace with BLG. So we're about to get into pick ban here for game 1.
And blue side, BLG love it here in game 1. So this will be the game that we see, and one against LGD that in their home arena they've been waiting for that extra hour. But going through, you already see bans towards Garvey with the Aurelia, the Akali, even PYL losing his support in the Yuuki.
You say it's a ban towards Garvey, I say it's a ban towards Yuuki.
That's
Yuuki is an exceptional Aurelia and Akali player. In fact, he's made his name on that in his initial split, let alone that year when he just had the highest solo kills. He was just going wild in that one.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, definitely it's a good takeaway from Yuuki, but in the case that you've made, good takeaway from both.
I love that we're talking about the strength of the potential solo lanes here for LGD, but for BLG first pick, no surprise, the Azir comes into game 1 over to Kuro.
I love it. Just immediately. He's like, you know what? I got those annoying, pesky Bruiser and Assassin out of the way. After the patch that Akali, you know, she no longer has obscurity. She still has invisibility, and there's an increase on the ratio that she has in terms of her damage. So her damage output is actually far more later on in the game. So that's something that people look at and say, wait a minute, this is not a nerf whatsoever.
Yeah, they're like, oh, hang on, this is actually pretty good. The shuriken flip in question there. As we come into this, just a quick reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that we are in 9:15 now in the LPL. We do have Mordekaiser lifted here as well, so everything is available once again. Keep that in the back of your mind, although we haven't seen too much priority about it yet. It's still the Silas, the Olaf that we go into first pick phase with.
And not much has changed here. So we'll talk about it once we get into game a little bit more. But for now, you're right, Silas being picked outright. Expect that to be the jungler. But does get run over a bit by the Olaf. So that's going to be interesting to see if it's... yeah, it's just going to be locked in as the jungler. So Gnar going to be thrown up into the top lane.
Coming back to the Silas, though, for Meteor, that's just been a speciality, so I wasn't too surprised about that. But the Gnar here early for ADD, solo lane strengthened, locked in. LGD have a different pathway. It's about getting Kramer his Ezreal once again that he cleaned up JDG with in game 3.
And I just love the fact that when LGD go like post laning phase, a lot of it is about Kramer. His Kai'Sa has been exceptional, the Ezreal, just as you've mentioned, to the fact that once LGD have been able to bridge that early game that Olaf, and I would say to a certain extent the Aatrox can give them, Ezreal comes ramping up, and then it's up to PYL. We'll see what champion he ends up picking in second phase, but to be able to engage on fights, start them, and allow the Ezreal have that space to skirmish.
Well, Alistar's still available there. It's been part of the go-to recently. Brom still too. Let's see where direction he goes to, rather. Is Kiana going to be the ban? 80 carries on the side of LGD. I like that, considering Jinjiao has been a big focus here in the past. But Zoe banned away from Yuuki.
All right. We're respecting Yuuki now. You're on red side. You find yourself on second phase. You have to respect it. I love the LeBlanc cover. Now, I don't expect that to be locked in. You're on second. Oh, my God. We're giving the support last pick.
Yeah.
All right, PYL. Commanding attention. Hey guys, give me all the space I require. I might just pick a ball.
Priorities first. So BLG, like, where do we go with this in mind? Because we need to see their bottom lane come into action. And it's going to be the Kai'Sa, the safety against not knowing what PYL decides in the end.
So with Tahm Kench being outright banned on the first phase by LGD, I would expect it to maybe be a Braum. It really is a tough one. Rakan is a tough one. I don't really appreciate the Rakan here because it's very easy counterable. In fact, PYL can look at that and say I can go towards the Alistar pretty easily. Ezreal Alistar then has a free lane. Ezreal has the range into the matchup. Oh my God.
He was laughing.
Yes.
PYL was laughing and going, you know what? Shout out to RD, but the Alistar, as you mentioned, seems to be the wiser choice.
Anytime you can get Alistar out of the laning phase, it's a big plus, but really there is so many options here. I think the Braum works really well in tandem. So like, I can talk about all the hovers here and they would all make sense to me. Nautilus is just such an easy point and click, so it makes a lot of sense. It's a good punish to Kai'Sa, so if Kai'Sa ever follows up on a Rakan engage to begin with, then good luck.
Yep, you don't get the extra range advantage as Rakan towards your 80 carry as well, as if it were the Xayah. So For BLG, starting out with that early recon, it's been a different pick and ban with their solo lanes locked in early. Now we once again ask, how do these Korean imports affect this game one?
It's a good question. I think just taking a look at the pace for BLG, it looks like a very Genji-esque composition.
Well said.
A slower type of game style. They have a great wave clear through mid. And Gnar, I mean, sure, he's going to be dealing with an Aatrox topside, but as long as he picks up some Grievous Wound on that one, execution is calling early on, then he could be able to deal with that matchup, look to split push later on in this later stage of the game. So I'm pretty confident with Gnar's ability to take that matchup in side lane, and for BLG as a team to be able to at least wave clear a good amount and make it difficult for LGD to pick up a fight.
Curious about the rune choice there as well on the Gnar. We've seen Grasp, we've seen Airy, we've seen Fleet Footwork. There's a lot of versatility there for ADD, for a champion that he and only a few other top laners here in the LPL are considering right now, moving into 9-14 and 9-15.
That's fair. I think lane strength is going to be a priority. Definitely between Airy and then just going into the resolution tree or resolve tree.
Yeah.
So Grasp the Undying or Airy, I think both of them are pretty positive. Being able to kite back with Fleet Footwork is always, like you just said, there are a lot of options here. I wouldn't discount any.
I like the fact that for BLG, you get them running out of the gates. You don't get anything else with their draft. You get the style of BLG from game 1 to a potential game 3. BLG, a team that's already secured playoffs, are looking to rise even further up. But LGD are not that easy to walk over. It starts here with the momentum in game 1.
敌军还有30秒到达战场，碾碎他。
Good stopping in the back there under badeMan, but it's not going to be too much. Now, Raz, I was here the other night in the arena, and I looked at the drum because I thought, was it taken from WE? It is a much smaller drum. Of course, it's branded as well, and I thought, okay, it wasn't, but wasn't allowed to bang on the drum the other night.
Well, they definitely,
Wouldn't let
swapped identities with styles in
That's true.
different venues. Of course, it is 9.15. Caught me off a little bit by surprise. Not much did happen within the patch, but a good example is, Yuuki picking up the LeBlanc, who did get a pretty large increase in terms of just raw base damage on the ethereal chain. So he's going to be able to be packing a punch versus Kuro. I like the pick here. It just needs to be supported. Talk about supporting. You got to support PYL in this early invade.
This is a fight on two fronts, actually. badeMan has started Undertow, of course. Now into Meteor. The level 1's going to be big here from Olaf, so I think Meteor just has to back away.
Yeah, very smart. I love this adaptation. We've seen it a few times because if a team comes in for an invade and tries to fight for red buff, the obvious answer for the enemy jungler is, if I'm positioned to the left side, go for Raptors, get level 2, and then commit to the fight, right? I have a level advantage. I could pick it up easy for BLG. Or if you commit position towards the Krugs, same idea. The adaptation has been, okay, then challenge him on that buff instead. So then now he loses level 2. He's not going to be able to get it. He's wasted time, has to go up top side. So worked out very well for LGD.
And set himself up to vertical jungle here. badeMan going over towards the blue. Will be able to find his way into the bottom lane early as well, if that's his choice. Of course, Conqueror Olaf, Warrior Olaf, that means a good start.
I mean, at the end of the day, not only did you slow Meteor down just by a tad bit, and Olaf was already the faster jungler. Just like that. I mean, if Silas even tried to go up topside to be able to take red, badeMan would have challenged him. He had the pushing mid. He was going to be able to get the skirmish advantage, so that's going to be a triple buff coming through from LGD.
Bottom lane's winning out anyway. Good trade here from PYL, and Kramer lands a hook. And XinMo and Jinjiao being that level down means that they can't contest. And Kramer already having a big CS advantage, able to get the wave shoved.
Now, this is... We've seen LGD have really good first 5 minutes, and this is a great example of that. Because if you go through this entire, clear that LGD has done and challenge, then there's only 2 camps that Meteor can be with. It's either going to be on the Grump, but he can't go topside because, badeMan will be able to match him.
Yeah.
Or he goes towards Krugs, which is a far more, beneficial camp, but you'll be on the bot side of the map, and then you are simply, they know you're there. So PYL and Kramer has that in mind, and they shouldn't be caught off by this gank.
Yeah, with that ward in tow as well. Spotted out level 3 on the Silas, and we'll clear this one away, but Kramer walks up, gets himself a free bit of Klepto, and The Olaf down towards the bottom side now as well. badeMan's so quick to the chase.
He's just always wanted to match Meteor here and keep him down, and he's been doing a great job at that. Take a look at this, though.
It's gone to dark now. Remember that badeMan can still take the trade, but Undertow doesn't connect.
If it was just a one-on-one, easily would have been an advantage for badeMan, but he has a good idea that Kuro was coming to rotate, and he just takes a step back.
But now that Yuuki's here, maybe it changes. PYL here, 3 versus 2. Yuuki gets electrocuted by Kuro, and LGD turn for the scuttle, secure it away, and even XinMo doesn't want to get involved as PYL shows him who's boss.
I love PYL, man. LGD as a team just says, all right, we're going to take a step back. Well, cool. We got exactly what we wanted. Extract. And it was like, PYL was like, all right, I'm just going to put a little bit of damage on it. If anyone wants to come, then we can commit to a fight.
Good trading here from Kuro in the mid lane as well. That's going to be the Azir popping out with another bit of electrocute. And we see this a lot, matching electrocute for electrocute on the Azir to the LeBlanc. Standard stuff.
At the end of the day, I mean, Azir picks that up in much more skirmish, heavy matchups if he needs to be able to keep himself underwater, so it makes a lot of sense here. Now, if he's in just a pure 1v1, then Azir should just be fine, as long as he doesn't put his wave in a really bad position and allows LeBlanc to go for that all in, right? So that's the only caveat I have, but the expectation is that Olaf is going to have a pretty large imprint on the lane. So that's where I would take a look. I would expect Yuuki to be leaning vision towards bot side, and then having Olaf work alongside Yuuki, look for a bot lane dive, and make it a 4v2. It's going to be a lot of pressure for Meteor to catch up to this.
Well, they have spotted him out walking towards the mid lane anyways. Meteor does the scuttle crab. Pings were going down, and badeMan's just there to help push the wave out after being spotted, essentially. So Kuro able to push him out, and Yuuki just not taking the best trades here, but with the jungler there. Okay.
Because remember, Kuro has the teleport here in the matchup. So you need your jungler to give you a good back timing. Otherwise, LeBlanc is just screwed and stuck in the lane.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh,
flash coming through.
That's a quick move here from Jinjiao and XinMo in a lane that was actually going pretty rough.
Yeah, really nice for them to just have that kind of synergy. Usually, historically, the Kai'Sa Rakan have just been a really bad lane. And in this case, you'd expect Nautilus and Ezreal to at least have an advantage. But while that is the case, while Ezreal has the range, if you go for an all-in like that where you're separated from the wave, then Jinjiao can set up for a W, get his full passive proc off, and that's just never good for a Nautilus.
And now the threat onto the AD carry, the flash burnt away, and Kramer has to be careful. Even walking up to this wave with Mystic Shot is risky as Jinjiao shows it there. Bit of damage now onto the AD carry, and Kramer, remember, doesn't have enough mana as well to kind of look for these all blown out trades. So he's playing further back in the lane as BLG now have to shove themselves with Meteor down the bottom side.
They're fine with that, knowing that Olaf is probably going to be pathing up topside. It's probably better for them to be underneath their own tower. And just recognizing that if you're in a double TP bot lane meta, then you're not looking for any skirmishes. It doesn't actually turn into anything unless if it's significant enough to force a base. So the job for LGD, or at least Kramer and PYL, is to cool it down and allow mid-jungle to benefit. Even to maybe to an extent where PYL can leave the lane and start helping out badeMan for a mid lane gank or dive. So let's see if that ends up happening. Meteor should calm himself down if that's going to be the case.
I love this. Just hops on over. Blast Cone now going to get spotted out as PYL sees him, but badeMan quick to the chase. Meteor doesn't want to give up at a second time. Oh,
he doesn't know where he is.
He has no clue, and he's going to walk into this brush. He takes the Blast Cone over the wall. Undertow's there.
What the?
It now connects. He flashes over the wall. badeMan doesn't land a second Undertow. Doesn't need to flash. That was just alphaing again.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Right? That's when you look back at the VOD and you're like, how the hell did he get behind me? When did he have the chance?
It was perfect on the timing. He was there an extra 10 seconds on the red buff, and badeMan even goes to Raptors and takes that away.
And this is the difference between Olaf in the LPL and I would say globally. Because a lot of the times, if you look at the win rate of Olaf in LCK and in LEC, it's actually fairly poor. And the reasoning for that is, we have a pretty skirmish-heavy meta, or at least the league, and even past that point, a lot of the times the teams are pretty good enough to be able to support the jungle in their timings. Support the jungler when they're looking for an invade on red, Raptors, get an experience advantage, and then help him so now he can help you.
Move into the mid lane, look for that Undertow to connect. That was close here from Kuro, but still pressuring him out as Meteor goes to the top side. Great reaction, and the jungler who got smashed now has first blood.
Clean. Very clean. Great job by ADD to be able to get that wall slam. So, I mean, made it easier for Meteor to come in and pick up that kill on Garvey before he was even able to flash.
Forced out of lane, use the teleport to get back in and look at where the wave positioning is. ADD can get the shove. He's already picked up one bit of turret plating. There should be another. While badeMan's like, okay, can I get back up there before Meteor arrives?
It's a pretty tough time here for, you know, a little bit for Meteor, just because the fact that he's been run around in the bot side of the map so much. I love the fact that he was able to get that gank up top side. I don't think it's going to be something he can replicate anymore, but you'd like to be able to find more picks just like that. So he's going to be leaning towards some of the lanes a little bit more often ADD, because ADD is coming back into that lane now with a bit more of an advantage, as you can see through the CS.
Able to pick up the kill means Runic Echoes as well. So picks up the jungle item at the very least before badeMan, and just looking for some camps to clear as the Olaf goes back to farming his own, still with a CS lead. This sets him up towards the bottom side, towards the potential of Mountain, if the bottom lane can move away from it and get unchallenged by LGD.
So, yeah, you're right. The point that the Mountain Dragon is going to be a primary focus. Maybe teams then focus towards the, you know, the Rift Herald, if that's going to be something they want to be able to sneak instead. But I think both squads are actually fairly comfortable in this state of game. Mostly because BLG, they have a great composition later on. Why would they want to do anything about that, right? It's LGD that needs to find something in the mid game and are unable to do so because of the vision control that's out there. Like right now, the control ward being able to catch this Mountain Dragon, you would expect BLG to try and collapse for this.
Well, XinMo's come up, Meteor's here as well. Jinjiao going to make the move, and Kuro has ult, so a 4v4 in the works with no teleport on our top laners.
All right, let's see what we got.
1500 health, there's the dredge line, there's the depth charge. POL so low though, Jinjiao's in the middle of them as BLG disengaged, they're ignoring them. They want Meteor and XinMo, but Kuro jumps in. That LGD was scattered. What happened? Now the ult coming through from Jinjiao, he goes over the wall, and Kramer is going to be helped with the slowdown here from PYL, but BLG just took that easily.
And they get the Mountain Dragon for all their troubles there. If you're just watching Kuro in that fight, how he was kind of panning out, he just walks straight through the crowd.
Yeah.
Recognizes how well that fight was turning out for BLG, and he says, I don't really need to care about LeBlanc in this situation.
Doing this again.
Yeah, Garvey's out of there, though, so he's fine. He just loses quite a bit of experience you'd expect. Can't teleport back into the lane, too, so ADD is going to get even larger advantage off this.
Fine is a relative word in this environment, as ADD has already taken so many bits of turret plating. 25 CS lead.
So top lane's doing real well for ADD, and throughout that entire skirmish around Dragon, like, that was a great engage on towards a Nautilus that had boost mobility early on. So, like, that was a fairly squishy one.
Oh,
nice.
Great ult from Kuro. Yuuki goes back to the clone, of course, but takes the turret shot, and PYL not able to find the engage as he walks through mid.
Yeah, but now he's completely dissuaded LGD of trying to look for the pick that they were trying to go for to begin with. So now BLG, I mean, they got themselves that first Mountain Dragon. They were able to slow the game down by being able to track the enemy support. PYL hasn't been able to get much done. He even walked through a ward to get up topside. Like, throughout all of this gameplay, BLG had been performing well. Even playing around badeMan, absolutely just treading through the enemy jungle. So first 5 minutes was great for LGD, but since that point, I think, you know, BLG's been able to really deal with it well.
What you mentioned earlier in the game is a nice steal here from Meteor, going to have himself an AP True Shot Barrage, but further to your point as well, badeMan had such a good early game, but it felt like a couple of plays from BLG instantly negated that, with Meteor picking up 2 kills, catching back up in the jungle. He now has the level lead himself, and the tide has turned.
This is going to be an interesting game, simply because we'll see if there's an engage happening here. Meteor's looking for it.
Oh, he wants to get the Abscond Abduct. He's found it. Remember, he has the True Shot Barrage to use. Ooh. He wants to snipe out Yuuki. Get ready for this one. Meteor's still on vision, though. He's going to wait. When does he fire it?
Look, one man's down. Even if they don't get the kill on that one, they still have a number advantage for the Rift Herald. So the whole issue of one man not having teleport, the LeBlanc in this case, is actually incredibly important now. He can't rejoin this fight. LGD have to give it away. And what was a pretty dominant first 5 minutes from LGD in a really early game focused, if we're just talking about how LeBlanc and Olaf were able to, or supposed to be able to impact this game, gone to the wayside.
Against a team who just scales so well, as we talked about here. The Azir heading towards the first item, the Man Immune on the Kaiser as well, so that extra scaling element that you already have with the champion herself, and the Rift Herald into the lane that was already broken. That's going to Jinjiao.
They should be making some good cash here. 30 seconds until Rift, or at least the turret platings are gone too, so able to get this one push. then move mid. And while turret plating will be gone by that point, they've already made a significant margin there. So early game lead is going to be pretty big here for BLG.
Absolutely insane. 770 just on Jinjiao. XinMo respects him, leaves, moves down, drops some wards to keep his 80 carry safe, but she's so strong.
So I wanted to make this point about, usually dealing with Aatrox, you would want to be able to have at least one Executioner's Calling or literally any point of Grievous Wound with amongst your team. No Ignite from the side of BLG. ADD went towards a Black Cleaver really early on, so he has those components. As you can see, he's taking some pretty heavy trades now.
He's actually starting to lose some of them over. Grasp of the Undying gets him back.
So, and if you look towards the composition BLG has, none of them can really naturally build towards Grievous Wound.
True.
Maybe the Azir, and that's maybe going to be the expectation, but Garvey should have a good time in later team fights. Seems like we might find a skirmish right now.
Find one of them. But ADD goes into Meganar, LGD respect that. It's the level 11 top laner here who you saw just before got the most out of turret plating. He's going to back away while the rest of BLG want to really siege down on this turret.
All right. At least LGD do benefit not only being able to defend the bot lane turret, but of course have full experience being given to Ezreal and LeBlanc during that time. So I'm going to see if LeBlanc gets her Luden's Echo right off this purchase, because that's a good amount of time that they were able to buy for her. Just components.
Blasting one. Okay.
Sad.
So means the Azir is just that little bit extra ahead, of course, you expect with the CS lead. And the CS lead throughout multiple lanes has enabled BLG to be that little bit ahead in each and every aspect. Turret goes down again, and Jinjiao's going to be even further.
But this is pretty disastrous for LGD. As a team that came in with that early game focus, they don't have control over the dragon, and in 20 seconds, Infernal Dragon's coming up for a team that already was able to secure the Mountain Dragon last time around. LGD is looking for that one gambit now, though.
I mean, if they find the play here, maybe they can rotate, maybe they can get something else. ADD caught out here in a 1v2 as he has the ultimate available. Meganar is going out. He wallops them back. He sends himself up, but the depth charge is going to catch him by surprise. But he's out. That's 3 members in the top side spotted, so of course, an easy Infernal.
Yeah, that was pretty bad timing by LGD just because he was just about to get to Mininar, so he still had the ultimate available, was able to push them back, and then had the movement speed outside of that one to follow. So, I mean, ADD was able to play that one out as well. He didn't even have to use Flash. This is pretty bad now from LGD. I don't know how they end up coming back into this game. If you look towards their playmaking potential, you say Nautilus, but oh no, you can already see what's happening.
I would have said Garvey, but when you have the World Ender style of Meteor says, fight me 1v1, he's going to get pulled back in with Infernal Chains to dunk down. He does get one bit of reset, so that's the first kill for LGD, which backfires for BLG.
Aatrox, ladies and gentlemen.
You love
That's that sustain I love to see.
You think you've got him killed, when actually he goes back to full health. It's the dream of every top laner, and it's good news here for Garvey for a game that was falling by the wayside, and we asked how they could come back. Moments ago, Raz asked me. Now, I may not be a color, but Garvey getting this kill is better than nothing.
Look, the moment he ends up getting picked off, you expect Meteor, as you see, so confident in being able to pick up this kill. Of course, when he gets Conquerors, you forget the fact that Garvey also has Conquerors locked down.
Yep.
He's also procced that. And on top of that, the sustain that follows with just naturally being an ulted Aatrox is way too much to deal with. Now, I watched LEC yesterday, quite a few games, and Aatrox smashed Ben. The only one in which I saw an Aatrox game come, recently be played and wasn't doing all too well was actually just recently watching this morning the SKT games. They had both Sejuani and Aatrox able to fail, but, that just happens sometimes.
Twice,
But, Aatrox, when put in a pretty damn good situation, he always had that ability to outplay through the sustain. And the concern that I had coming into this game was, I didn't see anyone naturally building Grievous Wound here. No Ignite to name, so if Garvey does have that one team fight where he's able to soak in a lot of damage, buy a lot of time, output a lot of DPS towards Jinjiao and Kuro, then that's when the game can turn on its side towards BLG.
You can see the only priority there is that Oblivion Orb heading into the Morellonomicon, which Meteor will be able to somewhat deal with him, but you're right. For the on-hit here, so far, nothing there is Garvey just holding his own, the level 12 Aatrox. Suddenly eyes are on him as the Caulfield's Warhammer shortly. It'll become a death stance, it'll become even harder to subjugate him down.
But I just love Caulfield's Warhammer as just an outright recipe. Because the CDR is really what you love here.
Sure.
The CDR is beautiful for an Aatrox who just wants to be able to go through his Qs. These are pretty nice too. Like the dash that he has, just being able to have a roughly low cooldown, especially when ulted, that's the difference maker. So being able to have that extra HP on Black Cleaver, CDR that comes and follows up, he's in a pretty good place.
20 CS down, but that's going to be okay. As ADD's
All
found
right.
himself a
Watch
target
out.
again. Yuuki against the wall, but LeBlanc looking to escape. He hasn't made his move just yet, but ADD is going to go into mini now. Now, when do you have Crunch? That's a block. Nice by the clone. Yuki's only just out, but ADD is still big.
A job well done. Now, this is when you just feel for the LeBlanc.
Yeah.
What can she do?
Back away.
What can she do right now on this map?
Not too much. Against ADD in the top side, might have
Get
to back
him.
away. Yeah, there's a depth charge from Meteor. XinMo was the only bit of backup here as he's going to back away, and BLG still aggressing forward.
All right.
Okay, let's go again.
He's just trying to pick up as much experience and gold before he gets his base off. And when he does, no one's going to be there to defend this top lane turret. BLG in a great position to not only pick up this mid lane turret,
Oh.
but the top one as well. And oh no.
Yeah, look, Dredge line didn't connect from PYL. It was into a wall, but it wouldn't have mattered. BLG take the turret and the kill. And again, LGD are forced even further back as ADD forces Kramer backwards.
Lord have mercy. This game may not seem like it. If you come in freshly into the stream, whoo, that was close. You wouldn't have known that this is actually just an outright slaughter.
Yeah.
BLG have firmly taken control of this game post 6 minutes. And at this stage, LGD are just outright desperate.
Looking for whatever they can find. I mean, it's just the Dredge line from PYL tells a bit of a story here in this game where LGD running out of options, looking for openings, and now even contesting their own red buffers. BLG, it's hit 20 minutes. They're securing vision around Baron, around that top side where ADD sits in a side lane, being a nuisance to this LeBlanc.
All right, pretty good, you know, change in pace for Kuro. So Kuro is not going towards the Nashor's Tooth immediately. He's going towards the Morella Nomicon to talk, you know, to address that grievous wound.
As you talked about, yeah.
So Garvey, good luck in team fights. Now going to be smacked up in the head. You're probably just going to have to find yourself on side lane, and even then, you're going to be dealing with ADD. So usually I would be providing at this stage an alternative.
Yep.
What can X team do? X in this case. What the hell can LGD do?
Yeah.
I think Nautilus has to start swinging for the fences.
I agree.
He has to just start playing as creatively as possible. Find a bush, control ward that bush. That's the bush. And now that's not the bush.
Now that's not the bush. Okay.
Find a new bush.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
this
the
is
same bush. Who would
No.
expect the same bush, you know? Hysterics.
They don't. Look, BLG walked over it. It worked.
This is what you need to do. But now, of course, they're just here to be able to contest this Mountain Dragon.
Now it's not even about the bush, right? It's about the Dragons. LGD walking in PYL, Dredge line. Now he needed to start swinging Raz, but he was close to that one. As Meteor might be forced out. LGD trying to stop this one. That's the ult here from XinMo. PYL sends out his own as Kuro gets zoned away. The Sun Turret will go down. Who cares, Mr. Observers? We look back at BLG, who secured a double mountain, and are going to get Garvey as well.
Oh!
Now comes Dennis. Wow, ADD just stacked dominoes on a wall and found his way over.
When ADD is confident, he starts swinging. That was an excellent flash to be able to get that last pick. And guess what timing it is? 22 minutes. They find themselves at Baron buff. LGD has to contest for this.
A double mountain, though. Will they get there in time? 10 seconds is going to be too much. With a Kaiser and Azir, LGD need to make the move, and then they need to hope for something big.
Meteor is incredibly squishy, and he's the one with the smite. They're just too slow to this.
It's gone. BLG is a 5-man unit. Now they're going to find PYL. Boomerang blade out. Dredge line misses in between. Kuro sends soldiers out. Yuuki looking for the assassination, but he finds it himself. As BLG get low, but doesn't matter. Kramer has to flash away from the Emperor's Divide. And BLG are walking over this team. The True Shot Barrage goes too far. And LGD, they're left with their 80 carry.
Yeah, this is mission impossible for Kramer. Literally him against the world. He's trying his hardest. He hasn't got the full build ready for himself, and BLG are really ready to go. Take a look at the items. They're completely stacked now. This is the fight that we were looking towards. If he gets that pick, Kuro, I don't think he's dead. He would definitely have to burn his flash, and he's out of the fight.
Right.
But now he has the chance to be able to re-enter. He buys a lot of time against Yuuki. And then you get to see, guess who gets isolated in this instance? Nautilus coming through. It's a really easy pickup on towards Garvey. And it's just a great fight at the end of the day, and great chase down by ADD, who joins the fight.
Really nicely done there. The 2-item Nah, 2-item Silas, 2-item Azir. I may as well go through because at this point, with BLG so far ahead to almost 10,000 gold, these items are always going to be that 1, maybe 2 ahead of LGD for the next 20 minutes if we go that long.
Yeah, Black Cleaver and Frozen Mallet. Just the out-classical put you in the Nara inside lane and chase you down in the long lane. So there's a reason why Garvey's not trying to meet that one. Good luck whoever decides to take that fight.
Well, someone needs to, because ADD's walking up to an inhibitor turret. PYL flashes in, that's the move, but Kuro sends them back and he get pulled in, goes golden with the Infernal Chains, but teleport coming in, and that, nah, he may not be big, but with the 2 items, he's ready to party. Look at him, it's OPL Nah. He hits them 3 times, drops the logo, jumps in, Mega again! BLG have it so easy in game 1, and LGD are just watching from afar.
Man, even if that ultimate went in the wrong direction, it was still a pretty damn good fight once again from BLG. Woo. You just feel bad for LGD. They started the fight as they should, got right on top of Kuro, got the kill on top of him, and the problem was, you're right, ADD joins the fight, is able to just go free firing, and the carries have to back away because of it.
badeMan, who was so far ahead, now 2 levels behind here of Meteor, and
oh no.
Tells such a good story here. LGD first 5 minutes, sure, but now Meteor wants revenge, Raz. He's sick of it. What did you do to me earlier on? Meteor just tells him to go back to base and call him when he's a threat.
All right, man. You can already now see how much damage Meteor is starting to throw down. Double Morellonomicon is what we're seeing here from both Meteor and Kuro.
Wow. Well, BLG games in spring, I remember saying, Raz, that, you know, that was slower affairs. Here in the early game, they've pushed it to the limit and responded well to LGD.
I love that reaction coming in from PYL. Gets him in transition, able to lock down Kuro, get the kill just before the fight actually starts. But then when ADD's in the thick of things, now Yuuki has to back away. Ezreal can't get any closer with the Rage Bar as it is. If he actually ultimate in the opposite direction, I think Jinjiao is going to be able to follow up. But now that he ulted them towards the tower, well, that's it. That's the end of the fight. So that may have been the goal, but I think they could have gone further.
I love when you see little Nah, you're like, okay, it's fine. Then you see him about to transform, you're like, okay, we're walking away. And ADD still whacking him the wrong way. It doesn't matter. That is going to be a Blade of the Wrong King Nah coming third, Raz. He means business here in the 1v1, and Garvey not
Will we
ever
even
be
get to that point?
Well, that's a good question.
At this stage, the pace of the game is actually just way too accelerated for LGD. And they do not have wave clear.
Yes.
Across the board, they're getting shoved in for a reason. So it's going to have to be somebody. You can see Garvey positioning the way he is. That finds that flank before he ends up hitting tower. But there's a ward that catches him doing so.
As always, so hard to flank BLG as they go face first. Yuuki burning to death as ult comes through from Jinjiao. He flashes away, gets his support knocked up, but XinMo repays the favor, rejoins the fight, and LGD dismantled once again. This former BLG, they're already in playoffs, but you want them to go further as Kuro ults just for a necessity. Garvey tagged back onto, and LGD sent backwards. XinMo survives. ADD, now it's his time. As Kramer sends out the ulti, he will find XinMo, but BLG have done it all.
Stay in the fountain. You're not allowed to leave. ADD's just keeping you down there.
I mean, we're only seeing one game here tonight, Raz, and I'll tell you one thing, that's enough from me, because BLG made it look so damn clean.
Well, look, I feel bad for not ADD actually. LGD for one reason.
Why?
When you have that comp, doesn't pan out in the first 10 minutes, oh, you're bleeding. You're bleeding on the floor.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep yourself in it unless you are creative enough. And Kramer and Kuro.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Give you that a freak love.
Yeah. All partners in crime, smiling at each other. Kuro's like, I'm sorry, man.
In between the series. Yeah. I'll see you in game 2.
That's a gorgeous moment. A great game from BLG in game 1, and I'm glad we can have fun with that, Raz, because, again, it's telling the story of BLG, and it was those 7 minutes there that it all turned upward for this team.
Yeah, so quick, really. I mean, a lot of that happened simply because of the skirmish that came through on the top side of the map. Remember, ADD being able to find that dive on towards the Aatrox gives the kill to what is an impoverished Sylas. He was struggling, but now he gets that kill. He keeps even in experience. And then he's able to find pathing down bot side.
Yep.
He was in the game then. And then you already saw what was happening through the mid lane. LeBlanc wasn't able to get out of the lane at all. The wards between both the top side of the map and the bot side of the map were really locking her down. So dual lane was pretty safe. Top lane was not only safe, was picking up turret
really
platings,
big.
just ramping up. So great job from BLG. I think it was literally just the consistency that kept them in it.
It's why it's so exciting to watch this team, especially in the LPL. It's a big contrast to playstyle, which is what we've said in previous games and previous days, where BLG are just so fun to watch because of part of that consistency, but they go against a lot of the flow of play here in the LPL.
Yeah, and I think the key was primarily the Nautilus. Because for LGD, their goal in mind is like, yeah, they want to be able to get LeBlanc out of the lane, right? Or if, you know, the enemy mid laner, if Kuro ends up burning flash or something, if you can get him, have the Nautilus try and gank him.
Right.
So you can always play through bot side. But the problem was, Nautilus was pretty damn locked in the bot side of the map.
Yeah.
And then there were wards being just littered towards the river.
And
so
when he did get to the mid lane, he got pushed out because the other mid laner got pushed out.
yeah,
And
so,
Yuuki.
but like the primary purpose was, or the reasoning, the issue that that team had was that now it's just Olaf and LeBlanc. So wards are not going to be challenged whatsoever if the enemy team's constantly getting vision on you. And when they got pretty damn pressed, they're like, all right, we're doing Dragon. They won't contest it. We'll be fast enough. That wasn't the case. They got challenged. Kuro was pretty big on that challenge, got a big team fight win for them.
Yeah, just cycled through the enemy team, just walked on through. And Jinjiao ulted it, was like, okay, no one's hitting me. So that was good stuff here from BLG. And I guess my question going forward is, I know we're not going to see the rest of this series, but you know, can a team like LGD recover in what has been a good Game 3 team, is what has been a team that can challenge some of these upper echelons?
Yeah, they can definitely recover. As I said, that composition looks very bad when you're behind.
Right.
If you're behind, Olaf can't do anything. LeBlanc can maybe try for something with the Nautilus, but when BLG are playing so respectful, you're not actually having that bush jump anymore. That's not going to be a possibility. They tried top lane. They actually went to ADD and tried to be able to get the pick, but then of course he was ulted, got the movement speed off of Mini, and so it was like, well, good luck. So I thought LGD have the right mindset when they were behind, but the fact that they got there to begin with is a pretty doomed position.
And then Kramer was this AD carry who was like, well, I'm actually not in the worst case scenario, but
he's in a
my
pretty
team
bad
is,
case.
But you know what I mean? Like,
I understand
as a carry.
Yeah, I agree with you though. But he needed about 10 more minutes.
Yeah, and BYL couldn't give him that, unfortunately. So for LGD, you know, the story goes on, a team out of playoffs, but a team that I know you believe can still take distances against teams like BLG. I like watching LGD because like badeMan and Garvey still have potential the highest of highs. That Aatrox, you know, he 1v1, he took a Silas down.
Yeah, and I think just having a deeper discussion about LGD, that they have a right mindset about building a team. Because too often do we get to these parts of the split and we talk about X player having great potential because they do cycle through a lot of talent. But I felt like they came into the split really honed in on a set team, which is great. And a set coach. UDJ is a great coach.
Yep.
And so they're now going into this 2020, that is, going into next year, and I think they have a great mindset. They should be coming in as a stronger team, and just being able to see the fact that they're retaining, you know, Yuuki as that franchise player is a big thumbs up for me. So keep Yuuki, and as you can see, Kuro, keep Kuro away from Kramer. Keep Kramer. You got some great talent in that team.
That was cute. ADD, another solo laner, will pick up MVP as well, by the way. So well deserved here from the Gnar. And
hands up.
That's a 28% damage top laner. Not bad.
Leave that tower to me. Give me your plates, your number, everything. I'm taking this game over.
I mean, people can see why I'm high on. I'm so high on ADD at the moment.
Sir,
I just think he's great.
You're going back to base.
So we're getting the ADD highlight reel while we look through BLG and dismantling LGD at this point.
ADD is like, all right, you guys are
And
coming
then
with me.
Yeah, that's nice.
You know what? I'll take that too. 274 gold confiscated.
Yeah. Only one of the few top laners playing Gnar at the moment. I could list the Shy, Duke, but we don't see much of Duke. And it's ADD who's been piloting this champion a lot recently.
Well, I just like AD Cannon a lot more. So if we're just talking about, you know, what's the best champion to pick up topside if you're going for an AD style that would deal with the Aatrox, Cannon is the better one of the two, especially after the buff. But, I mean, the teamfight prowess of this champion is something that you always have to respect. You saw what he was able to do with Mega Gnar consistently. that's something that you have to be able to respect. So good job from him.
Remember, Kuro also plays Orianna as well, so I missed that combo, especially going towards Worlds.
That's true.
Keep it in the back of your mind. Ladies and gentlemen, however, that is going to be game 1 of BLG versus LGD. But coming up next, we're going to skip the rest of the series because RNG and IG over in Beijing will be taking to Summoner's Rift at 7 o'clock.
Remember, though, if you want to find the end of this series, Huya, Doyu, catch that, boom. You'll still be able to see the conclusion of this one with the Freak love in mind. Let's just see if Kramer gets the last laugh.
Yeah, but
Probably
coming up
not.
next. Coming up next, though, the
Unrealistic.
RNG IG series, so you can check that out. We'll be back in a quick moment.